video is about clearing statements. Now, when I first heard about clearing statements, I thought, this is absolute garbage of what you're saying. I honestly did not believe that if you had an emotion or something that was coming out that was stuck in your body and you wanted to release it, that you could literally say a statement, even a statement that doesn't make sense, and you could release that from your body or from your energy field. It made no sense to me. And I think there was a deep resistance, which would probably come from some beliefs or judgments or things that we've been told, where things like this can't be this easy, or something as simple as saying a statement can make such a change to how you are or how you were thinking. But I can tell you, and I would not be talking about this if this did not work for me, but saying these ridiculous sounding statements or using them when you need to release things actually works. So I want you to listen to this video, and the only way that you're going to believe me or not is to try and actually use these. So I'm going to explain what I mean about clearing statements, and then you can try and see if they actually work for you like they did for me. And I find now too that because in the beginning when I was doing a lot of my emotional work, I used a lot more of the tapping skill to really get out some of those heavy emotions. But now I find that sometimes I'm now at that state where I can just use a clearing statement and it's just like that. And it is literally just gone. And if it does rear its ugly face, back up in my field, or does start to surface, or I can feel that belief sort of coming back in, I can just use clearing statements and I can get rid of it. So when I would first use a clearing statement, so I'm going to give you one first. Now, none of these clearing statements are mine. I did not create these. This is not a tool that I've created. These have come from other people or other tools. So what I'm passing on is secondhand knowledge. So you're welcome to do some more research. So the first lot of clearing statements I want to talk about is from Access Consciousness. And if you haven't heard about that, Google it. There's lots of information on there. But I think some of the tools and some of the things that they talk about make a lot of sense. And I find that a lot of the things that they talk about works for me, and the way that they look at things resonates with me. So that is how I approach any modality or tool. I will see, how does that feel for me? And if you go back to truth testing, I will truth test it or energy test it and see if it is right for me. And for me, using these statements actually works. So everyone will be different. So don't think that you have to do this in order to heal yourself. It's always going to be up to you. So with clearing statements, the thought or idea behind it is anytime you are noticing any of those beliefs or stories or patterns that are coming back up that are holding you in place to believing whatever you're thinking or believing to be true, is something that we need to sort of release. And because we think that it's something that we believe and something that's always going to be in there, or something that's drilled into us, or something that we can't release it, you can actually use these statements to release that thought from your body. So I'll give you an example so it makes more sense. So just say we'll use a money belief, right? So for me, one of the money beliefs that I have, because I was brought up with, was if you have money, you will lose it. Because I grew up with my grandfather, who was a multimillionaire, and then he lost it all and became bankrupt. And then my father had worked so hard, built up money and all his assets, and then got sick and lost it all. So I grew up with that belief that if you have money, then you are going to lose it. So if that was something that I was thinking about, so if I was suddenly thinking about something, and if someone said, oh, I'm going to give you $500, and you go, oh yeah, that's going to be so good, but oh, hang on, I'm just going to waste it all, right? So that is where those moments where you need to think, oh, that's not my belief. That is something that someone else has instilled in me. And don't worry, you'll get really good at this. I know sometimes it's hard to identify some of these, but if a thought like that comes up, I'll be saying, anywhere and everywhere, I have bought and sold the idea that if I have money, it will eventually leave me. I destroy and uncreate at all times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine, boys, shorts, and beyonds. And I know you're probably sitting there thinking, what the hell did you just say? And that makes no sense. It sounds ridiculous. It does sound ridiculous, but it's weird. It actually deletes that belief or that feeling or whatever you're stuck in. It removes it from your system. I will explain what the words mean a little bit, although I don't know off the top of my head, but pod and poc is the point of destruction and point of creation. So wherever that thought has originally come from, we're going to delete it and destroy it and uncreate it from its creation point or its point of destruction. So everywhere I bought and sold, blah, 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 I destroy and uncreate. So we're going to uncreate whatever that idea is. We're going to pod and poc, all nine, which is the 9 dimensions of reality, shorts, boys, and beyond. So short is like a short form of what's the meaning of this, or how is this meaningful, or where is the punishment? Where is the lesson in this? And the boys portion is to represent the fears of, not fears, spheres. Hope I said that correctly. So it's like the bubbles of the layers of the emotion that sit there. So I don't know, think of something that's bubbly like an aero bar or something, and all those little bubbles that are joined together, just imagine popping them. So the boys are to represent the fears. So sometimes when we say the statement, it's not going to clear straight away. You will need to keep doing it as any modality. If there is a belief or a thought or emotion that we are trying to sort of destroy and uncreate, we need to do it by layers. We need to sort of pick at it. It's like, you know, when they're doing digging and stuff on those archaeological sites, and you're using a little pick and you're picking away at it, and it's taking time. So that's what the boy stands for. Then beyond will be a short version, or to represent when you are not being able to sort of look at something in a bigger fashion or a bigger manner, or questioning, or thinking more about a belief and not willing to look at it. So altogether, it's anywhere and everywhere I've bought and sold, blah, blah, blah. I destroy and uncreate at all times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine, boys, shorts, and beyond. And right or wrong, I forgot to mention that at the beginning, is, you know, obviously whether something is right or wrong, depending on sort of what you're looking at, and you're not giving judgment to whatever the statement or the belief is. You can also just shorten it as well. So if there is something that comes up and you want to say a statement, you could just say, I just pod and pocket. So you can do that as well. There are also some other clearing statements from a lady called Christine Marie Sheldon. She does clearing statements as well. I'm showing you what some of her statements are, and she also believes that using those statements is going to help us alleviate that emotion in our body. And I will talk more about how we relate these emotions to our body, but this portion is just on the clearing statements. So if you are going to use the other type of statements, I'll just give you some examples now. So if you were still trying to do that same money belief that we just spoke about, you could start your clearing statement with anywhere and anywhere I decided that. So you don't always have to do the bought and sold, or it could be where I have denied myself, where I've made it a wrongness. And her one is I uncreate, delete, and de-story across all time, dimension, space, and reality. So she is clearing that thought or belief and giving it meaning across any dimension, anywhere in space, and any reality that's currently going on. And we can talk about timelines, reality, and dimensions and all that in another video, because that is some pretty big ones. There's also some examples for some common things in here as well, but just learning to use some of those statements is, I don't know, it's just such a good tool. And You're not going to know until you try. I can tell you I was so resistant to using a ridiculous statement, but it just works. Well, it works for me. I don't know how it will for you, but for me, it works. And the only way you're going to know if it's going to work or not is for you to give it a go. So give it a go, see how you go. Try it out, see how it fits. You can even create your own. I've done that with myself, and I've created my own little statement sometimes, or if there was something that I was working on, I would pick some words that resonated more with me. So I would delete, destroy, and uncreate. So I would put the three together of something that I had believed in, and then I would pot and pock or delete it across all time, space, or whatever it was for you. And you can find what will work for you by just trying out different things. You don't have to stick to these. You never have to do exactly what someone else tells you, but I do find that main one that I use does work a lot. And it's how easy is it when something comes up and you can just say, pot and pocket, and it's like, yeah, boom, it's gone. I will talk more how we utilize those statements and our emotions when we're identifying those emotions in our body. But I just wanted this little portion to be more on what the clearing statements are, how they're literally just a sentence telling ourselves to remove that thought or belief or emotion or whatever it is from our system by using this statement. And it can be as simple as that to move something out. I'll see you soon.